how do you run your numbers and how do you properly underwrite that asset to determine what is the real value we are in a decreasing real estate market. What's up, guys, and welcome back to our channel. My name is Max Vollmer, and I appreciate you guys being part of this real estate journey, learning more on how you can actively be successful in real estate or take your current real estate business to the next level. One of the topics that pops up a lot on social media and that I see a lot of you guys do wrong is how to properly underwrite a single-family residential asset. So today's video is all about how we can actually underwrite those assets the right way so you're making smart decisions, educated decisions. And obviously, if you guys like this topic, and you guys want more of those videos, please go ahead and like and subscribe because it helps our channel grow, and leave us comments and feedbacks on things that you guys would like to see for future videos. But let's jump right into it. So if you guys have an asset, some sort of value add rehab opportunity, no matter if you're a flipper or if you're a wholesaler, it always comes down to how do you run your numbers and how do you properly underwrite that asset to determine what is the real value and not making decisions just because you guys are uneducated. So when it comes to properly underwriting an asset, one thing is important. You always have to compare your current property with other properties in that area that have a similar year built. So usually what we do is we do like a plus minus 10-year radius. So if you have a 1950 property, you can start 1940 up to 1960, and you're looking for comparable properties within that time frame. Well, it is important because one, construction has changed over the 15 to 20 year periods. So if you go back in time and you're looking at these different construction periods, they have used different materials, they have used different construction styles, and obviously like, the quality of build is tremendously different. But also don't be fooled that newer always means better. A lot of the 2007 properties here in our market have incorporated Chinese drywall, meaning the value of those ones is actually less than a 1990 home because there's a tremendous amount of work to rehab the entire drywall because you pretty much have to rip it out. It stings, it doesn't have long lastivity, therefore 1990 home has been built better. So a lot of those things are based on demand and supply, based on accessibility to supplies within the market of real estate to build homes and whatever else, has impacted those markets over the last year. So if you're staying within a 10 to 20 year time frame, you'll be able to compare your property to something similar in design, similar in quality. The next thing is square footage. You cannot compare a 1,000 square foot home with a 2,000 square foot home because the price per square foot will change tremendously. If the asset itself is smaller, usually the square footage is higher compared to a similar asset, the price per square foot I'm talking about, to a similar asset that is bigger. So if you guys stay within a 200 square foot radius, meaning you have a 1,500 square foot target home that is your current property that you're assessing, you would like to look for properties between 1,300 to 1,700 square foot because that gives you the flexibility and the needed understanding of the market of what this asset will eventually sell. So you cannot look for stuff that is way smaller or stuff that is way bigger. So these are two important criteria. Three is you have to look for the same area, right? You cannot compare a gated community with the ghetto as an example, right? To exaggerate, but in theory, you're trying to stay within the same neighborhood or you're trying to stay within the same subdivision. Usually within the United States and most markets, you can easily determine a neighborhood by just looking at the general property or general neighborhood borders, right? So if you use Zillow as an example and you zoom out, you will quickly see, are there any thick white or yellow roads? And if that's the case, you're not trying to cross these roads, right? You're trying to stay within similar areas, and usually by just looking at it from a bird perspective, you quickly see if there's any kind of major road that is usually a natural border of this neighborhood, right? But also just staying within half a mile to a mile radius, usually pretty close to staying within your neighborhood. Just try not to cross any visible borders of your neighborhood, not any highways or like a four-way road or anything like this. You don't want to cross those because in most circumstances, the value could be slightly different between those two neighborhoods. Stay within your neighborhood. And then obviously, what most of you guys are aware of is looking at comps that have sold over the last 3 months or 6 months. Don't go back too much in time because you're looking for like the most recent sold properties in your area to determine what is current market value. Now, before you cross a border, it will be more valuable for you guys to go back in time, 6, 9, maybe 12 months within your neighborhood to determine what is the property value before you start crossing a neighborhood. Now, if that is going to be the case, you want to go in and do some research about your market. If you're looking for fix and flip opportunities right now, we are in the nationwide, I guess, we are in a decreasing real estate market. That means you have to factor in some sort of discount to make sure you're not using a past value that is not applicable in the here and now anymore. So therefore, you have to go into websites like Redfin or Realtor.com and see what is the decrease in property values over this time time frame. So if you're going back 12 months, you can get statistics on what is the average decrease in values over the 12 months, if any, and take that discount into your analysis. So if you have a comp that you polled that was sold 12 months ago and there's a 5% discount, you're taking this ARV divided by or subtract 5% of that ARV and then divide this by the square footage to determine the price per square footage that you then go and utilize for your property you're trying to compare.